As life goes on, everyone will face crucial chance in their lifetime. However, no one knows when it will come. This is a story about people who are trying to seize an opportunity. Whether we seize it or not depends on our preparation. Chances favor only the prepared mind.
要等转机，我们要去那个沙门拉克。
After the crew landed in Jakarta, they transported 2 more times on a plane to get to Sam Lucky.
Ladies and gentlemen, shortly we will be dimming the cabin lights for the takeoff and landing.
要到了哦，橘子代码。
Finally, they get to Sam Lucky. The first thing they have to do is prepare food and beverage before sailing.
想要买船上要吃的东西，船上买吃的饮料，然后这是我们的特约商店哦，我们钓船的特约商店。Oreo 口味的，不错。
Indonesia is an archipelago country located in Southeast Asia near the equator, consisting of over 17,000 islands. Also the 4th most populous country in the world. And it is home to a diverse population of over 270 million people. The Indonesian demographic landscape is numerous, with diverse ethnicity, languages, and cultures spread across its vast archipelago. The cultural heritage is influenced by its history of trade, migration, and indigenous belief. It creates a harmonious blend of Hindu, Buddhist, Islamic, and animist influences. The country maintains a neutral diplomatic stance between China and the USA for both major powers. Under this situation, the Indonesian government is trying to seize an opportunity to be a neutral country in Asia. Politically, 50% of the population says they prefer Chinese, while the remaining 50% indicate they prefer the United States. They are absolutely neutral. Because of distinctive religious tradition, they're going to eat chickens and fish during this journey. When the crew is done with the meal, it's time to raise up the anchor.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of that ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew harder, bowed it down, blow me bully boys blow. Soon may the weatherman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tanning is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore and down on her right.
After the cabin crew finally weighed the anchor, they set out their fishing journey. This is the cabin where they're going to stay. Even though they still have a day to get to the fishing spot, the diligent angler couldn't stay in their excitement. Giant trevally is a target fish they wish to fish for this trip. GT is one of the top trim fish and also a game fish that all anglers desire to meet. To catch this monster fish, for sure, you have to be fully prepared. Of course, everyone has a different fishing style. People who fish GT in Indonesia normally use 230 to 250 plug lures with 120 to 150 weight. Also, you need a strong fishing line like PE number 8 to 10. Fishing hooks are one of the most important tackles because they also affect the density of the lure, which influences lure actions.
我觉得钩子太小，偏小，对不对？
但是你要视状况，视状况去调，就是看它的那个情况状况啊，去调。
When the sun goes down, most of the crew members are already set to fish. Prepared anglers gathered at the deck of ship and discuss plans and fishing strategies for tomorrow. Unlike other hobbies, fishing gives people positive inspiration by earning everlasting knowledge through sharing their knowledge and experiences. The ship keeps heading to the fishing spot. Exhausted crew members get down on the beds with a dream of opportunity.
我们这里是在 Samulaki 左侧的一个大岛，然后这边还有另外一个大岛，2个岛中的一个水道，这边算是比较远一点的地方。
如果要维持很高强度的船抛，连续4个小时，上午4个小时，下午4个小时，需要靠一下大老二。我目标鱼就是有 GT 980大直链。今天就是认真打破冰啊。
The rising sun over the horizon brings to mind that it's time to start fishing. Not only are members who have never tried a GT fishing here before, but experienced members are also getting busy preparing anticipation. According to local fishermen, a bunch of GT feeding was witnessed near the shoreline, and that shoreline is their target for today. After they get on a small boat, start raising the RPM of the boat to find shore monsters. Even though the members felt drained after spending the entire days on a transportation, nothing can stop them from chasing their dreams. Meanwhile, arriving at the first spot, they're giving it a try to make the very first cast. For GT popping, you must understand techniques and the law of physics. Because it requires heavy equipment, it costs a lot of powers and energy.
然后站在船最上面啊，那个点下盘的力量就用不了。丢的时候不可以用全力嘛，大概只能用70%、80%的力量看，对你才可以丢一整片啊，不要太用力。然后不要只用2只手，好，加上腿，加上我们身体旋转。每一个铅笔它的做法不一样，有的时候呢，你等它完全站立了以后，再开始做动作。然后一般来说啊，有一些浮力特别好、比较轻的，要记得要有留虚线。留虚线的意思就是说，你不要把它绷直着操作，要有点虚线。那有一些它可以绷直的操作，还有一些是下潜了之后，一开始先用点力，让它下潜了才开始拖动。所以每一个路亚它的用法不太一样。所以我们人是活的啊，路亚是固定，但是人是活的，好要找到一个适合它的操作法来操作。
Some predatory fish began to capture their side, but GT was not showing up yet.
现在看到两边比较浅嘛，浅绿色，这中间有一条深蓝色。现在风从我们背面来，我们越推越靠近岸边，所以早一点中的话，这里比较深啊，比较容易起。你要是钓比较浅的地方，比较容易磨胶啊，比较会出问题。啊，在这里中比较好。
They found GT in a perfect location just in time. All the crew start to focus on the opportunity.
Okay, that's
Oliver got a monster chase. Oliver can feel the monster's power all the way from the rod's tip to his hand. weird sound from the mouth. A huge head, big eyes, bulky body, V-shaped tails, and massive mouth with the sharp teeth prove that it is their target fish. Giant dragon. As GT become less and less active, the crews begin jigging in its place. Because in order to survive in the open sea, they must catch and cook. However, the rule is to release the small fish for the cycle of the ecosystem. Furthermore, it is easy to figure out what kinds of fish live under the sea. The majority of fish you may come across here while jigging are grouper species, but it totally depends on the location. Jigging is easy to assess and catch. It can provide energy and support the maintenance of a stable mentality for those who did not catch the target fish. Move on to the next round.
抛头就是这样，要一直抛，一直抛，没有人知道什么时候你会跑出来。
有没有？全部都扫过去，全部搜寻过一遍。对，所以这里只要有鱼，我们全部都搜寻到。现在的风向跟地形是最适合的。你看，我们沿着岸边一直飘，有没有？风从我们这边一直推，那我们就一直前进，然后顺着这个边，斜坡边坎一直飘过去。
Crews who are exposed to the heat are getting extremely tired, but a decent spot has come in front of them. Raise their concentration to the maximum to seize an opportunity. A vibrant red body. It's called red bass and normally lives in shallow water with impressively sharp fangs. Even if it's not a target fish, it's still exciting when you catch one in this situation.
一般我们前面会用尼龙线，后面会加一节碳素线。那我们刚刚纵钩的位置，这个就是它塞盖的位置，啊，纵钩之后这是塞盖的位置，塞盖比较 ready， 你看，碳素线已经磨花了。好，所以说碳素线比较耐磨，我们前面会接一节碳素线，就是这个目的。希望对你有帮助哦。
They encountered a local fishing boat while fishing. Got some information. Right away, they arrive at the place where fishermen such as GT. Everyone starts to keep casting in order to reach their goals. However, there's nothing easy in the world. GT popping requires all your mentalities and physical ability to be prepared. They have to keep casting heavy lures in this burning weather. Also, they must maintain control of the lure at all time. Common people will quickly become exhausted in this situation. Furthermore, if you fail to concentrate on the lure when fish approach it, you will most likely lose the fish.
Higher or lower?
Patience and endurance are two qualities common to those who identify as anglers. The sun goes down, which indicate that feeding time is alive. All the anglers put all their best effort into increase the opportunity period to achieve their goal. Fishing is not that simple, much like life itself. It's time to return to the mother boat. Somebody got fish today, others didn't get any fish, and some didn't even get any bites at all. However, the providence of nature is equal for everyone. Tomorrow, somebody will get a fish, others will not get any fish, and some will not even get any bites at all. No one knows when or who will get a chance. It means that they still have tomorrow. The sailors are working on mooring the boat. Everyone must have experienced different thoughts and feelings about today. But tomorrow's sun will rise from the east like it used to, so don't worry.
你那个喝不完的矿泉水有没有？用钩子打一个洞，这盖子很软。哎，这样有没有？很方便，有没有？洗一洗，又很节省水，然后又可以洗得很干净。再帮它加洞。乖，乖，乖。好，你看它会变得很好笑。会变成啊，歪了。Hello.
What do they need right now? Just get some real good sleep in the motorboat. In the early morning, fish smell covers the motorboat. These guys made this happen.
很累，在这里钓鱼，吃早餐就吃早餐，不要乱下竿。对，不要早上不要乱起来尿尿，不然就会跟我一样这样。金玉章治。你看，大家现在都不吃早餐了，对不对？超伤的啦，对。
In other words, if you see the ocean when you get up, you'll feel tempted to fish and become even more tired. Introduce the guy who skipped breakfast.
出发前随便玩一下 slow， 下面的鱼真超多的，大概随便跳一下都会咬。3竿内中鱼，等一下哦，好，第2竿，到底随便跳一下。看小鱼，值班吧，小值班。
Introducing the guy who has already finished the breakfast. Bluefin and traveling makes them look forward to today's journey. They set off on their journey early in the day, hoping to catch a massive fish. Since they're moving to another location last night, looking at the rising sun makes the crew realize they're facing a new opportunity.
今天的目标要更大的鱼，要大的鱼。
今天我们希望可以有很好的状况，然后它今天没有像平常我们在印尼钓鱼过那么热，平常在印尼钓鱼非常热，一下就满身大汗。今天的天气很舒服，但是很舒服不是重点，重点是要有好的钓况。然后我们要一直持续钓到下午，好，中午休息，下午继续，我们就会知道今天整个状况是怎么样。希望我们会有很好的成绩。
Today's strategy is finding fish boiling and break lines to meet big monsters. Fish boiling means that bait fish school. The presence of large groups of birds at a location reveals the existence of bait fish schools. Those bait fish schools are typically hunted by predatory fish. Targeting such a bait fish is their goal for today. Something bit Ace's lure and left a mark. Bait fish schools are easier to find close to the break lines during the feeding time, and a rapid ship in underwater train or depth is referred to as break line. As you chase these two factors, break line and birds, you can find bait fish schools in a wide ocean. All of a sudden, an unusual bite came to this young angler. This curious young angler consistently attempts jigging when there is a lack of a bite. He Eventually, he got an unexpected reward. Monster-sized Spangled Emperor. Restore the team's morale and proceed to the next spot. Before they reach their location, the locals informed them of the breaking news that they spotted some GT close to the break line.
在这里有没有两个中间这里？你看前面有海浪有没有？什么都没有，但是汪洋大海里面有海浪。这底下有一个像沙洲啊，或是环礁这样的东西，就在这里。不然一个平大海怎么会突然有海浪？而且下面这里也有海浪，平大海突然就有海浪，而且可以看到一圈那个浅绿色的，所以这里底下有一个环礁。Cast， 好。
Amidst the flying birds, they encountered opportunities again.
来了，慢慢的，再来，再画。够了。
GT slowly appears on the surface of water. A black-colored giant traveling. According to the research article, mature GT tends to be solitary. In the breeding season, mature male GTs make their own territories near reefs or other suitable structures than seduce a female. As courtship behaviors, displaying vibrant colors, specific movements, or vocalization are considered to attract their partners.
Best captain in Centaur Samlagi.
They keep casting for baitfish schools and break lines without the rest. Nevertheless, no one can predict how nature will respond. A few hours later, even the traces of baitfish disappeared.
像我们看一下这边哦，这种水脏脏的、有泡泡的这种地方啊，都可以试试看，因为它是海流推到这个地方，然后又有深浅，前面比较深，前面比较浅，这里比较深，这种有断差的又脏脏的，这种都可以试试看，都可以试泡看看，很有机会这里就会躲鱼。
Anglers constantly cast to get a chance along the break lines. They found a baitfish school that was hunted by birds and some predatory fish. The target distance is too far from here. Approach carefully towards the baitfish school, but they find out the location is too shallow to approach. Make the decision to cast as close as they can. Once the lure dives into the water, the predatory fish bites it right away. In the calm sea, the splashing sound spreads out to the ocean. Is disappointed because the fish was not his target fish. However, the fact is, fish can choose the lure, but people cannot choose fish. Red bass, they inhabit coral reefs, lagoons, rocky areas, and usually in clear waters with moderate to strong currents. These snappers prefer from shallow waters to around 100 meters. Some of them engage in territorial behavior. At least, red bass gives them great experience and confidence for this young angler. Captain Polly is aiming to look for big monsters during feeding time. Even though they're all exhausted, they gather their energy to give it one last chance.
为了大家晚上值班加菜。
In the meantime, others keep casting for monsters.
感觉这边应该很多，没有什么鱼看过铁板吧？什么的。
Hope you can get some tasty fish.
Steam, yes，赤海。
Hope the seafood party can be hosted by Homas tonight.
好吃的。哎，跑掉了吗？哈哈哈哈哈！秋菇啊！
All of a sudden, Michaud finally got a massive bite, but the fish resisting harshly. It was the biggest topwater bite that he has experienced during his entire life. The fish changes direction and dashes quickly. Michaud is dragged by fish to the bow of the boat. He's trying to do what he learned and studied for this situation. However, theory alone is always insufficient. Nevertheless, through this experience, he moves his step forward to Monster GT. Putting aside the regret, he slowly sailed back into another boat.
肌肉已经开始酸痛了，很酸。下次要带水壶来，按摩水壶。哎，我觉得下次我们可以建议大家集资带一个，对，因为我觉得应该很划算。如果一个不够，有两个。
哎，拍我。GT， come。
Once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the
It was a miraculous day for some people. It's bound to be disappointing to other people. However, just like in life, people cannot live a life filled with regrets all the time. Just as learning from today's experience and preparing for tomorrow effective in life, fishing is a great way to learn from the past and plan for the future. After returning back to the motorboat, crew members appease hunger. Everyone enjoyed a lavish dinner with the fish caught by jigging. Now, everyone noticed the fact. If you want to have a great dinner in the boat, you must have to catch high-quality fish. Now begins the fishing for survival and bounty for life. Due to the abundant fishery resources in Indonesia, jigging is possible in most of locations with sufficient depth. A young angler Jirong hooked a big fish in a depth of 150 meters. Jirong is looking forward to seeing what kind of fish he will catch. It's a decent size of ruby snapper. The intriguing aspect of jigging is uncertainty of what kind of fish you might catch. If it's their first time fishing here, every angler will be filled with anticipation and excitement. While the anglers were enthusiastically catching fish, the sun eventually
通
Oh,
went
常
down.
第一下我会大概抽15下，再落，
然后呢？
就开始玩慢了。
好，
慢快，要不然因为我不知道到底这边有什么鱼啊。慢的话就是半
相信
圈，
墨菲定律嘛。
半圈跳一下就好了，然后再来一个大跳，然后就落，然后就接沙，结果没有。
抓着白带鱼啊！
A few minutes later, his words become true. No matter how big the fish might be, it seems unlikely to escape from his hands. he had 30 kilograms of ruby snappers in this morning, compared to the fish he caught earlier in the day. This one cannot be considered a big snapper for himself. As soon as evening fell, all the anglers came out to the deck and began jigging. Although Minsho missed the chance for a big catch today, a true angler always finds happiness in catching fish. The advent of pelagic species always motivates other anglers, because that means there are tons of fish under the sea. Definitely tons of fish. Suddenly, Amo's fishing rods start to bend dramatically, but it's because of an improper hook set. Everyone was waiting for the fish, but it turned out to be disappointing for everyone. And even after that, fish continued to come out. Hooked on a big fish once again. Hustle bustle excitement spread to Captain Polly and other people. This young angler Jamith cannot control the adrenaline through his veins. The jigging night became even more passionate. Meanwhile, Giant noticed a suspicious power from the rose tips. Blubber-lipped snapper. Finally, she got the target fish that everyone wants to eat.
应该有稍微有点亮，然后因为我杆子软啊，线又细。30线玩大鱼，30吧。今晚目前最大的，当然一定还有更大的啦，好钓的一定更大，还有很多，尽量钓。
The jigging night gets darker and deeper.
小狗牙。都是这种小狗。大鱼。
The entire boat has been enveloped in the scent of fish. Tired anglers start to leave a deck for tomorrow, because it's not over until it's over.
Ronin, 软竿细线不要玩太大的，很累。
大概180米左右的时候刚上来，然后去咬。
Once again, the rising sun heralded a new opportunity. Despite the jigging night, everyone was bustling from the early morning to chase their dream fish. For these anglers, fishing never makes them bored, even if it lasts the whole day. Because they have specific dreams and purposes to achieve.
Fishing time, rock and roll.
The boat, laden with dreams, sets course for today's destination, an underwater mountain. As soon as they arrive at the point, birds and baitfish schools greeted the anglers. They might imagine that something extraordinary would happen today. To immerse themselves more in the feeding time opportunities, they continue fishing by quickly changing locations.
刚钓的那个是海底的一个海山，海山的上面有点平台，然后整个海啊很大，但是你就可以看到这海山的附近全部都是鳄鱼哦，鳄鱼很多，一群一群的鳄鱼，这就是我们瞄准的目标。然后以前啊，船在这边搜寻的时候，发现很多小鱼在水面。 鱼探机再下去，海图在比对，全部这里就是有海山。这种地方有时候它的那个 GT 不是很多，但是有 GT 的时候体型都蛮大的。我们现在再到下一个这个海山山头，下一个山头再去试试看。
They arrived at the perfect spot that seemed to fulfill all the perfect elements at first glance: birds, boiling, breakline, current, wind, and tide. Eason spotted a peculiar movement on the surface of the water.
可以。打到脚继续。
A consecutive urgent situation. Fish reveals its massive appearance.
还有你没被剪，你刚刚差点把它喷射出去哎！
我被绊到。
When you get a real big monster, most of anglers are overheated like this. Holy mackerel, king mackerel. As you can see, it's just a king among mackerel.
妈的，抓不住啊！手真的差点抓不住啊，差一点抓不住。
小心小心。OK， 请问掉手。刚刚有没有觉得差点被这样拉下去的感觉？
我觉得我真的差一点被拉下去了，差点喷下去。
20几 K 啊，最多的一个没那么厚的，它很厚。
哦，
它很厚。
抱起来，我现在手没力耶。啊，
它不长，但是它很胖。
它超胖的。这个，快点，不行了，不行了，不行了，不行了。
这么多，我猜
有了20了，刚刚
20，算20，算20，19、
20上20了，有了20 K 了。恭喜！
谢谢各位，
没有很长哦，
谢谢各位。
我钓过比这还长的，但是没有那么胖。
我的手不好意思。
这种地方刚刚已经钓了一个20 kg 的土托，以前在这种地方也钓了很多 GT。下一个山头再去试试看。
Amu always thirsts for opportunities. That's why he's ready to seize on opportunities all the time. Shanghai angler Pooh also got fish. Although they didn't get GT at the same time, they both got GT near the target spot, the Sea Mount.
我们要继续加油，争取钓更大。
The approach of today seems to be exactly right. Move to the next spot with this great atmosphere. All of a sudden, the wind picked up, the waves became larger, and they could not see the fish bites at all. Then a few hours later, they made a baitfish school. But that happened only once. Time continued passing without any significant response. However, nobody wants to give up their final chance. Especially this young man Minsho hasn't got a GT yet. What he can do right now is just keep casting until the GT comes out. If you think fishing is based on statistics, there must be a probability that GTs bite your lure per 100 casts. If the probability is just 1%, you may need to cast 100 times to get fish. It also means that if you cast 200, 300, and more than 1,000 times, then you must get fish. The reason lies in the truth of life. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Some people think that 1% of probability is too low to challenge. In the meantime, 1% of probability even motivates some people to challenge. And people like these guys are called angler. Once again, it's the final feeding time.
有分量，不然就是咬不好。
It was a final day and final chance for this journey. Solid GT. Knowledge, experience, luck, and effort. Experience proves knowledge. Knowledge knows no bounds. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Put your efforts on these factors. You can make it happen. Just like we have to strike while the iron is hot, fishing is also about seizing an opportunity through countless waiting. There is no time limit to chase for a dream. Trust yourself.